Like the show you will,
Hello friends, welcome to User Friendly. My name is Erfon Elijah. I'm the writer for Cult of Mac, owner of MyTees.com. I'm here with my friend
Roberto Hoyos from Throwboy.com.
User Friendly is our weekly podcast where we get together to talk about our favorite stuff from pop culture, our favorite technology, and all our favorite stuff on the web. That was terrible. I apologize.
This is episode 19.
Episode 19 already.
Who's your friend here?
My little green friend. Yeah, I don't know why I'm rubbing him like this.
Yeah.
like the show you will today.
That sounds like Grover.
Does it? Well, unfortunately, I don't have a Grover cut out. You know what, though? I never thought about that. Grover and Yoda actually have a really similar voice.
Yeah.
I wonder if they use the same dude.
It is. That's my joke.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know.
Oh, wow. See? That was something that I learned today. So, our friend gave this to me.
It's cool.
It actually is really cool, because look how short it is.
It's nice, too, because it's old Star Wars. You know, it's not this stupid CG one. Like, if you got one now, it'd be like the one where he's all like
Dude.
that.
And look at this. Like, if you look at his hands, like, look how fake they look. Like, his nail polish is like nail polish. His nails are all like the paint's coming off. Look at his straggly ass whiskers.
It's funny too because like did you ever go to the science fiction museum that was here in Seattle?
I don't know if you guys can see these whack whiskers. Look at all this crappy. It looks so fake. You can see like the injection molded plastic seams.
You mean he's not real?
This one obviously isn't.
Wait, did you ever go to the science fiction museum?
The Pacific Science Center?
No.
Oh.
So attached to the to the Experience Music Project, EMP.
Yeah.
There's a sci-fi museum.
I didn't even know that.
They used to have really cool props, like from all sorts of movies, like Back to the Future, Star Trek, all this different crazy stuff, like from Blade Runner, everything. And they were all donated from different like rich people that wanted them to be exhibited somewhere for a while. But then that ran its course after like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, and now they have like specials. So right now it's Avatar, and before that was Battlestar Galactica. But it's funny how like the props that we see in movies look awesome in movies, but you see them up close, they look like total shit. Like they look like a plastic gun, like so fake. Like they went out of their way to make it look faker than it is, you know?
That's true about lightsabers too. Every time I've seen like good replicas up close, they look like crap. They never look as good. I'm gonna sit down on our little green buddy over here.
All right, bye.
Enjoy
Yoda.
the show I will today.
Near, far.
Big fan I am.
All right.
All right, so we got some great topics today.
That's right.
Let's dive into the first one. This one's yours, compadre.
Okay, so browsing around Twitter, I follow somebody called David Hannemeyer Hansen.
I know who that is.
How do you know this guy?
He created Ruby on Rails, and he works for I forget the name of his company.
37 Signals.
37 Signals. Thank you.
So he tweeted out this link about excuse me, about Facebook advertising is fool's gold. And so this article is on behindcompanies.com, and it talks about sort of the flaws with Facebook advertising. Obviously, they went IPO really recently. Everybody's kind of like, they were clamoring for that. Everyone thought it was going to go crazy, and now it's at like $28.
It's like deflated big time, yeah.
And so obviously there's kind of like a controversy with that, and people saying, well, they're still worth a whole bunch because they have so much data, you know. So
dude, somebody the other day was just making that argument to me. They're like, they have so much data, and I was like, yeah, but anyway, what were you gonna say?
And I think I got into that situation too, because I remember my Instagram argument was they have so much data.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's argument for you know, just anyone is they know a lot about us. So that's why they can effectively advertise to us. So this article kind of talks about that, and the main point that it makes is that Facebook may know a lot about us, you know, the things that we choose to share, choose to like, whatever. But that doesn't always mean that they're not solving a problem for you. You know, like whereas Google, what Google does is, you know, it's there, it's open for you to go search for something. Like the other day, like what if you've never talked about something on your social networks before, but you want to go find something, you know? Like, what if you were like, where do I find a Yoda cutout, you know? Like, Facebook would never be advertising that to you because you've never ever said it before, you know?
Right.
So how would it know that you want that? So that's one of their big points of this, is why that just having data doesn't really convert to money.
Right. Yeah, so I think the main argument, at least as far as I saw it, was that, I mean, Facebook is essentially trying. They have all this data about you, right? So they know who your girlfriend is. They know, what you do on the weekends, who you talk to. But that's kind of like an old school marketing way of selling stuff to people. So like, just because you play tennis a lot doesn't mean that you're looking to buy a tennis racket. It's like. So the advertising, the argument is essentially that the advertisements are ineffective in a way, and that's one of the reasons why GM is stopping advertising on Facebook.
Yeah, they spent an annual
$10 million bucks advertising on
just
Facebook, and they're not going to do it anymore because they said they can't. They don't think it's effective. And I've kind of felt this way about Facebook ads too. I mean, I don't really feel like they do anything. I personally never click on them ever.
Yeah. A lot of people, don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Whereas
I would say most people don't,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone that does. I guess every once in a while one will catch my attention, but even ones that catch my attention, I don't necessarily click. Like, they have to be really intriguing.
And that's just kind of by chance, right?
Yeah, I mean, because Facebook, honestly, it's human nature, right? Like, you change your mind, you change your opinions. Like, they don't necessarily know what you're gonna like. And I think the Google model, the reason they're so much more successful is because, like you said, like, you're searching for something. Like, they're giving you an answer to something that you have a question to. So they know what your question is,
right,
because you're searching for it. And so they're able to give you something that might be of interest to you. Like, if you've never mentioned anything about tennis in your life, but you're looking for a tennis racket, and you search Google for tennis rackets, it's like they know you're looking for tennis rackets.
And
so
that happens all the time to people.
And that happens
they're like,
all the time.
I want to take up running, but you've never talked about that,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And Facebook is still advertising Dr. Pepper to you because you said that you liked it, but tomorrow you say you'll never drink it again.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And also, I kind of question the value of, like, Facebook fan pages and all this stuff. It's like everyone's like us on Facebook. It's like, why?
Yeah.
What is that?
You have a big kind of beef with this because you think it's been too widespread, right?
Yeah, I think that it's way more hyped than it actually is valuable. Like, if you're trying to build, I think where the value lies is if you have a great product, if you have a community that you're interacting with,
right, then
Facebook is an excellent tool to facilitate that communication and build that community. But I think too many people get focused on getting the likes. It's like, it doesn't matter how many people are following you on Twitter. It doesn't matter how many people are who like your fake Facebook page.
Because to them,
if you're not engaged with them,
they just want to push more bullshit at you,
Yeah, and it's like, who knows if it even translates into more sales, which ultimately is what you're trying to do, right? You're either trying to disseminate some type of information, or you're trying to sell something, and if those things aren't working...
Yeah. Well, it's because, at the end of the day, these big firms want to see... They have to have these analytics. They have to have these numbers. So they're like, oh, what kind of likes do you get on Facebook? How many followers do you have? It's just... It's stupid, Like...
Well, then you have a company like GM saying that it's not working for them.
Right, and it's actually interesting because it's... Facebook ads... It's almost like... print ads or magazine ads are almost more or equivalent to it, because it's just like you go out and you buy, like, let's say a guitar magazine, and you flip through that and, like, they have these full page ads. Like, those are a little bit more like they could catch your eye because you're already in the market, you're already looking at guitar gear and whatever, and it's like, I feel like just having those kind of like almost like old-fashioned banner ads are just like the equivalent to putting a little ad on your Facebook page, Like,
yeah, I think that's true.
Because if you're already kind of out, it's like, say, nobody really does this anymore, but say you do get subscriptions to, like, all these different magazines, the different things in there, they already know you're interested in,
Right.
So it's
yeah,
like,
if you're looking at guns and ammo,
yeah,
they know you like guns, ammo,
yeah,
NASCAR, and women in bikinis.
Yeah. And so that's the same kind of thing, It's like Facebook knows about you, so they're gonna advertise I'm being advertised Little Caesars and Coors Light.
Wow, yeah, you get Coors Light on there,
and
look how many ads
credit
there are
cards
too,
and stupid shades that I'll never buy. And
It's actually look kind of cool. Printed party shades.
and they're trying to do this.
Oh, dude, but look. Scroll up.
What?
See, like, that's something they would never show me, a Little Caesars ad.
Oh, really?
Because you're always posting pictures of your
am,
$5 picture deal or pizza deals.
I do go to Little Caesars on occasion.
And we don't have a Little Caesars near us, so I never go there. But that's funny.
Are you trying to say I live in a ghetto area?
Yes. Well, it's interesting, you know.
We don't have fast food where I live.
Actually, we don't really have a lot of fast food where I live. But along the lines of Facebook advertising, I've done it before, and it's worked in strange ways.
It got you me.
Yeah, actually, it got me a Roberto, so that was worth it. But it never really translated into any sales to me, and for me, and I kind of question its value. Of course, I'm more one of those guys where I'm like, you need to have really strong word of mouth advertising for your product before you even consider advertising it.
Yeah.
If you're a small business.
Right.
Because you can advertise the world out of a piece of crap and no one's going to buy it because people are smart. Like, they know what's good and they know what's not. You can only fool them for a little while.
Yeah, and they're trying to do this thing where it's like, well, your friend John likes, you know, whatever, like, PBR, so, you know, and they put that in your thing, like he's a sponsored ad or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Do you feel like that works?
No.
I don't either. Like they're like, Roberto is really into whale tails. I'm like, that's great.
I'm gonna go make fun of them.
I'm not gonna go, you know, like put my money on whale tail stock. If such a thing exists.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, if Roberto liked the Little Caesars page, you should like it too. I'm like, I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care. Like, no offense, if Roberto likes Little Caesars, I don't care. I don't like Little Caesars, or I like it. It's like, it's totally dependent upon like what I like and don't like. And like, if you were to tell me yourself, hey dude, I really like Little Caesars and here's why, it's like, that actually might work.
Yeah.
But when Facebook tells me what you like,
it feels like slimy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, don't tell me what Roberto likes.
Yeah,
you don't even know if he likes it.
You don't know Roberto.
You don't even know Roberto. I bet you thought he was Mexican. He's not.
That's
Peruvian.
all I know. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, you feel like you're in this sort of machine and they're just like pumping out these ads for everyone. It's not the same. They think it's sharing on the web is the same thing as sharing by telling you. Like,
yeah, and it's really interesting to me that they think that they can get me to like something by telling me what my friends potentially like.
I wonder, you know, it's funny, like, the two of us are pretty techie, and there's like that whole scene that a lot of those people have this kind of like smokescreen. They think a lot of these things work. And then there's like the hick like demographic. We live in Washington State, and if we go up north, there's some people that like don't even have a computer. And they're super oblivious to this kind of stuff. They might have just gotten a Facebook. They're still on MySpace, right? Maybe there's something in the middle where they're actually like clicking on these ads that we just don't think about, you know?
Hey, somebody's clicking them, right? I mean, Facebook's making a lot of money, and it's all through ads.
Yeah.
So somebody's definitely clicking them. I just don't know.
So do you agree with this fool's gold argument? Do you think that's just trying to get some clicks?
I think it's probably a mixture. I definitely think I think there's an element of truth to what he's saying. It might be a little bit more embellished than what's actually happening.
Do you think that because they have everybody's data and they're the most popular social network, they're going to be a Google? They're going to be the big, you know, huge fortune, you know, type of company?
No, I think unless they do something differently in the future, I think the big point for me, which this article specifically calls out, is the fact that just because they know your attributes does not mean that they know what you're going to want next. Because we don't even know what we want next a lot of times, I would argue. So that's the reason why Google has a much better business model, because when you are ready to find what you want, you go to Google and you ask.
Yeah.
And that's when the information becomes valuable, because otherwise they can show you 10,000 pizza ads, but until you're hungry, it doesn't matter to you.
Right.
Right? And you may only go to Google when you're hungry and you're like, where's the closest pizza place? Boom. That's when that information becomes valuable.
That's why Facebook is like the equivalent to like magazine or TV or print.
Right.
Or magazine, sorry, print, TV billboard. You know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah.
they're just kind of throwing it out
It's
there.
just a more dynamic magazine, right?
Yeah, because like you're watching Spike TV, you're gonna get these certain kind of ads. You're watching Discovery, you're gonna get a certain kind of ads. You know,
Right.
So they already know that about you, so they're targeting you in that way. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the key is that data can be valuable, but there's a difference between data and information. Data is just random, data sets, right? Things that
Like
are correlated to
age
you.
and
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
age, color,
Sex,
all that stuff. It's like, but it becomes information when it actually has context, and I think that's where Google
That's
has
where
the
Google
advantage.
does it. Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, okay, now he actually is looking for this thing.
Maybe they will get into search. You know, people live on
They
Facebook.
could.
If you,
I mean,
hit
they
search
very well.
there's Bing, I guess, in this, right? Like you could look up shit in the search engine.
I think the search engine is powered by Bing. Yeah.
but
Can
no-
you search for things on the web
nobody
like that?
does that? Yeah, it's like, but it's
I didn't
it's
even
a,
know that.
It's a bad, like, okay, let's say I want to look up. What was I saying? Trying to think of something that wouldn't have like a page for it. You know.
Oh, you can just ask the question like, what's the capital of South Africa? It's gonna bring up the capital of South Africa page.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it goes to Bing web results.
Oh wow! See now, I didn't even know you.
But
could
nobody
do that.
uses that, dude.
No, I don't
And
even think people know you can
it's
use
too
it.
cluttered. Then it's like, oh, but do you also want to people you may know, and it's a million people that you rejected. It's like, yeah, okay, and then some more ads on the side, you know.
Do you want to be friends with Steve Punjabi?
No, for the millionth time.
Who lives in India?
But
Since
anyway,
you like Apple?
that yeah, that is our little 2 cents. Facebook.
Well, I felt that way about Facebook for a long time, and I've spent probably $200, which is not very much money, advertising on Facebook. But I don't feel like it's ever gotten me a single sale.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just because I'm bad at putting ads together. It probably has a lot to do with it. But
Yeah.
let's move on. I want to talk about it wasn't really a documentary, a show episode that we both watched recently. So
I think
PBS,
it was a documentary.
Was it? I guess it's kind of a
Well,
short doc. I guess it
yeah.
is. It was 2 hours, wasn't it?
Because it didn't feel much like a documentary. But anyway, yeah, PBS.
PBS has this show series called American Masters, where they go through and talk about, people who have been at the top of their game, the top of their craft in the U.S. I never even watched the show until I randomly caught part of an episode, maybe a week or two ago, and it was about Johnny Carson. And Johnny Carson, of course, was the host of The Tonight Show for 30 years before Jay Leno took over.
Mm-hmm.
Before I had seen this show, I knew nothing about Johnny Carson. Absolutely zero.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you were born in 1980.
1980.
I was born in 1982.
And he died in
2005.
2005, but he stopped hosting his show in what, 85?
No, like 1991 or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was around when we were little, but we didn't stay up that late, you know. So how
that's
would we
true.
Even know, you know.
Yeah, I never would have seen it. I probably would have started watching it when I was like 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, it was absolutely engaging, and I liked it so much that I've since watched it probably 7 or 8 times, which I do with TV shows. I know that might sound weird. So I wanted you to watch it.
Yeah.
And we talked for 10 seconds about it before the show, and your reaction to it was much more tempered than mine was.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you didn't really do anything for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't kind of like fly off the screen for me, you know. It was good. It was really well done. They interview a lot of current talk show hosts like Conan and Jay Leno and David Letterman, and a lot of those people knew him, you know, in some way or another, and or had been on his show. And I don't know. I like it. I think I might watch it again, but it wasn't just like I don't know. It wasn't like that other documentary where I was like, this is so cool. I want to watch it a million times, you know.
Wow.
But what was it about? Like, what did you like about it?
Well, see now, our reaction to the last documentary we reviewed, and we both loved it, was the same. This same reaction I had to this documentary about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I loved about it so much was, I actually kind of felt a little sad that I didn't ever get to watch his show while he was still alive, because he was, I mean, I don't want to say he was a genius. He was absolutely charismatic and so entertaining and so creative. And his show format was something that I don't think will ever exist again. And he kind of set the scene and the creative process for like all talk shows everywhere, entertainment talk shows like Conan
with the monologue.
Yeah, with the monologue and everything. It's like none of
Yeah.
that stuff existed before he created it. And it was just him and his buddy Ed McMahon, who, you know, himself was really funny, and they just had this amazing relationship where they would play off each other, and it was just two buddies hanging out. It was like almost the original Dick Nation. It was two buddies hanging out on couches, and then they would have all these guests come on, and there was just something about Johnny Carson that I emotionally identified with, and I thought it was really interesting that I had such a powerful emotional reaction to him speaking, and he's gone now, but that those feelings that I was having just watching these old reels from his television show is the same way everyone felt watching it, you know, 30 years ago. I mean, and now he's gone, and he's still able to connect with me about cultural topics that aren't even really relevant anymore, because, you know, all these celebrities are gone or dead, and I still have such a powerful emotional connection to him. He was just a really charming, funny guy, and I really kind of felt at the end of the episode that I had really missed out. I was so bummed. I was like, man, I was alive when his last episode came on, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't watch it because I just wasn't into it, and it really kind of made me sad that there was this gigantic presence on television every day, and I just didn't really ever get to see any of it. And now his show's over, and strangely, you can't watch any of his old episodes.
Yeah, they're not available.
And they're all sitting 400 feet below the surface of the earth in these salt mines where they're being archived.
That's really cool, though, that they kept all of them, you know?
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Because it goes all the way back from 1962 to 1992.
Yes, it's a lot of footage.
Yeah, I mean,
And
like...
the documentary does a great job at inserting really really amazing parts of that footage.
See, I feel like maybe I need to watch it again because I was doing something else, and we all know when you're doing like two things at once, you're not paying attention to either one. But yeah, I mean, like I when I talk to like my grandparents or my grandmother, actually, you know, she would live through this, so she would know. She'd be able to tell me like better, I guess, how it was like why he was a big deal, you know. And I feel like when I was watching it, I didn't get that sense, but I already sort of knew about Johnny Carson and knew that, you know, that he'd hosted for so long, and I sort of knew some of that stuff already. But I mean, back then it was like it was a totally different thing, because it was like you had less than 10 channels. You know, this person is like almost like your friend because he's coming into your home every night. You know, that was a different thing altogether, a whole different ball of wax altogether, you know. But the fact that he was able to stay on top for that long, you know, I thought that was interesting. But like, I think I'll go back and watch it again. Yeah, I think I'll go back and watch it again.
If you're interested in watching it, I would recommend that you download it off some type of torrent site, because I don't know when it's going to be on again. It's actually fairly new. It came out in March, I believe. So you might be able to catch it on your local, you know, public television station. But you can download it. It's in HD. And I would recommend that you do it. And if you do watch it, tweet out one of us and let me know, or let Roberto know what you think of it. Because I would be really interested to hear. I mean, like I said, I have watched it 8 or 9 times, and it's just, I'm coming away from it, I'm just like, I don't mean to be melodramatic, but he was like an American treasure. Like, the fact that when he died, I mean, even watching it happen in the documentary, like, was kind of like a very somber moment for me. I was just like, man, there's not going to be anyone like him. He was so well spoken, and his sense of humor was so well timed, and I think the thing about his talk show that's different from so many others is that he just felt totally authentic and natural, and he brought out the best in his guests. Like, his guests always thought that they were really funny.
Yeah.
Because he would, like, kind of draw them out with questions, and then he would laugh at all their jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you were watching, like, he was being as entertained as anyone else watching.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is really rare, because I think a lot of people who have their own shows kind of use it to make themselves famous, you know?
The part that I really liked, though, was when Drew Carey, like, broke down. He was trying to talk about him, and he was like, he couldn't hold back the tears when he was talking about him.
Yeah, because he kind of, like, he kind of, like, got his big break on Carson's show.
Mm-hmm. And he liked him, and he wanted him to sit down with him and stuff like that, which he doesn't do usually.
Of course, then they had David Letterman on. Mm-hmm. I don't think David Letterman's funny at all. Do you?
I like David Letterman.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything for me at all. But even, like, young Jay Leno on there, who looks like a mummy to me. He's got, like, his eyelashes are so dark, it looks like he's wearing eyeliner. I don't think he was funny.
Uh-huh.
I think he's a lot funnier now than he used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's changed so much because now there's so many freaking talk shows. Everybody has their own favorite, you know, like you like one I don't like, and vice versa.
Do you like Jimmy Fallon?
No.
You don't like Jimmy Fallon? See, he's probably my favorite right now.
Yeah.
But watch it, and one of the things I think you'll notice is how much all these guys copy Johnny Carson, even though they don't think that they are, or maybe don't realize that they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, just the way the monologues are set up, the fact that there is a monologue, the way they interact with their guests, the fact that they have a band playing, it's like none of that existed before Johnny Carson had his own show. So he really was an American master. So it's called American Masters Johnny Carson. Check it out. Let us know what you think.
Sweet.
He died in 2005, you said?
Yeah.
Of emphysema, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. That was another crazy thing, just one last note, like on the show, like when you're watching the old reels, everyone's smoking. They have an ashtray on the desk.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's smoking. It's like, jeez, man, what a different day and age. Oh, there you got his signature on his Wikipedia page?
Mm-hmm. All right, so what's next? Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
You want to show us a gadget?
I want to show you guys a gadget. So, and I'm going to show it to Roberto, too, because he hasn't seen it. So, I write for Cult of Mac, as some of you may know.
What's Cult of Mac?
Cult of Mac is a technology and Apple News website. And I get to review products for them. And it's cool because I just have boxes show up sometimes. A lot of times I can request stuff and I can get it. But sometimes our reviews editor just sends me stuff. And I don't even know what I'm getting. A box just shows up. He knows what I like. And he knows like my capabilities, like I'm a photographer, I can play an instrument. So he just sends me stuff to review.
I got a human hand.
I got a human hand one time. I got this large dildo-looking device. And apparently I'm the Cult of Mac music expert, even though I'm not a great guitar player, admittedly, and you'll see that in a moment. But I get a lot of like musical instrument stuff to review. So I got this little mini amp from Vox. And it's actually kind of cool looking. And at first, when I saw this thing, I was like, oh, great. This is going to be a total POS. I'm going to have to spend like 5 hours reviewing this thing, you know, because the reviews take a lot of time.
Surprised you got that, because, like, I don't know, I always feel like music, that's a very, like, go to Guitar Center and get that type of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. And in fact, Guitar Center sells this.
It's probably really expensive, too.
Yeah,
like
this is
$200 or something.
No, it's not. This is, it's a little less than that. It's actually 70.
Oh, really?
Or 60.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so at first I was like, okay, it's a mini guitar amp. I was like, oh, brother, this is going to be really crappy. But I started playing around with it, and the cool thing about this is that, yes, it is a mini guitar amp, but it has a bunch of built-in drum beats.
Oh, that's nice, because you can practice to it.
Because you can practice to it, and you can also play to it. And you wouldn't think that would make a big difference, but for anyone who's practiced to a metronome or
with nothing,
and you're just playing by yourself, it makes a huge difference. So let me show you what it does.
It's better for your time, and you get more into it too.
Yeah, totally. You get way more into it. So let's plug this guy in. I'm gonna grab my battle axe here.
All right. Let's see if we can jam together.
Yeah, we're gonna try. Roberto wants me to play a 12-bar blues. I don't know if I know how, but
you'll get it.
I'm sure. I'll get it! Give it to me! Let me break out the old battle axe. What if I just started just totally shredding, dude? Would you be totally impressed?
And just be like,
And I'm like, dude, I'm not that good. I just start totally shredding.
no, I couldn't imagine. You'd be like, yo, do you know any Dave Matthews Band?
Actually,
I'm like, no, he sucks. And you're like, he's my favorite.
dude, he was why I started playing guitar.
Yeah, see? See? I know him.
That's so funny.
In a past life, I know you.
I was such a huge Dave Matthews Band fan for like 5 years.
And how many Ripped Bill hats did you own?
Only one, but I don't think that was during my Dave Matthews phase, honestly. It might have been. But
Hemp sandals.
I didn't own anything made from hemp, except my marijuana. Anything that was inflammable.
Right, so let's hear it.
Okay, so let's turn this guy on. So
It makes a pretty good sound.
yeah, it actually sounds pretty good.
All right, so let's look at this thing. It has.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Hold it a little bit farther
So
away.
You got a gain knob there. You got tone. You got volume and tempo. So that's for the drum beats. You can select right
There,
here.
it should focus now.
And
Yeah, so it's got like all the regular guitar, like
guitar stuff here.
guitar stuff.
Drums here.
Is it on overdrive right now, or is it on clean?
It's on clean.
Okay, so it's on clean. So kind of got that edge tone, and then if you want like an overdrive sound,
Now you can play White Stripes.
what just happened?
You turned it down.
So, but that's not the cool part, right? So we're gonna put it back on clean. So here's the part that I think is really cool, and it took me a little while to understand how this works. So,
Nice.
right?
That's cool.
I
like that. That's cool. It's a cool idea.
Yeah. So and it has like different genres of beats.
Yeah.
Like what is this? Oh, that's just a beat pattern. So it's kind of cool. Like so, it has beat patterns too, not just like musical riffs.
Yeah.
So if you want to just practice playing to a certain time signature, you can do that. And it has variations for each genre. That's a really exciting one. So why don't you show me? Oh, here's blues. Kind of sounds bluesy, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So why don't you show me?
All right, let me see it real quick.
Oh, hey, and look, this is one last thing. You can like speed it up.
That's a
Oh,
little
sorry.
tempo. Yeah. It's very easy. I like the accessibility of it. Like I played guitar. I still do a little bit, but I would have a drum machine separate, and then I would have an amp separate. You know. And sometimes I just want to jam like in my room. So I don't want to have like this full thing happening.
I
right?
totally agree. I feel like sometimes you'll have like 1,000 wires coming off these things going everywhere. It's
Yeah.
like this thing doesn't even come with an AC adapter, which I think is totally bullcrap.
I hate when they do that.
And it takes 6 AA batteries.
I hate that shit.
So, but it is nice not having the wire.
Well, tell me how the battery life is on it, because
I will. I've been using it for probably a couple hours, and it hasn't died yet. But so
Okay, so you only have to do 3 chords to do this. But let me see.
So do you want me to play the chords, or do you want me to play the single notes?
Well, okay, you can do it this way. So can you speed it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Can I see your pick? All right. So.
So that's just an E minor or an E.
Yeah, E, and
then you're adding a 7th, right?
Yeah. And so then you go to B, and then you. You can do it without the pinky if you want. You can just do so E A. So you can do that.
Okay.
It's pretty easy.
Let's try it.
And I have a harmonica, so we can get real bluesy. All right.
Okay.
Switch there. Yeah.
I go from a B to a...
the... And then... Yeah.
Okay.
You got it?
Again.
Alright, let's...
I wouldn't say I got it.
Got it, okay.
Am I holding those too long?
No, you're good. I just want to come in on the right point. So now you go...
Oh, then B?
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Now I'll come in after this.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Go to A. Back to B. Or C. Going to B in a sec.
Nice.
That was awesome, dude. What should our band be called?
User...
User-friendly band?
Yeah. The user-friendlies.
the user-friendlies. So, yeah. What do you think of this thing?
It's cool. I like it.
It's pretty cool, right?
I thought it was going to be more toy-like, but I kind of like it.
Well, that's so funny. I mean, I did too. When I saw this thing, like I said, I was like, this thing's gonna suck.
I hope that wasn't too loud for the microphone.
Oh, I'm sure it was fine.
Okay.
We'll see. If anything, it'll just sound like crap.
Yeah.
Totally staticky.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got some other guitar stuff too that they send that I'm getting in soon. But normally the kind of stuff I get is like you plug your guitar into your Mac, and that's cool. But it's like it's just a bunch of extra steps, right? Because now there's a piece of software that you need to use. It's like
The nice thing about these kind of things, you know, it's just very simple. It's just this big chunk, right? It gets you away from thinking and looking at screens and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, when you're doing music, you don't want to have this added distraction of, like, seeing a screen that has the, you know, temptation to go on the internet, you know, like you'll play for 2 seconds and then you're like, oh, I want to go online, you know?
Yeah, that's
or
true.
like, oh, I'm just gonna look up a song, and then you like start looking up other stuff.
And then all of a sudden you're on Amazon.
Yeah, and like this is really cool because it's just kind of like very basic.
Right.
But the drum thing is nice. But I actually really like that it's compact because, you know, I live in an apartment and sometimes I just want to like jam, but I'm like, dang, is this going to piss everyone off in the whole building, you know?
Yeah, and it has a headphone jack on it too. And actually, if you want, you can plug your iPhone into it, and it will funnel in the music, and then you could play the music and your guitar over the music through the speaker.
To learn how to play that
through
song.
your headphone, yeah.
That's cool.
So, and then if you want to use the drums, I don't know why you would over that, but you could. But yeah, I mean, I was playing this yesterday, and I was getting ready for my review, and I was like, man, this thing's actually a lot of fun. Like, playing over a drum beat is so much more fun than just playing by yourself.
Yeah.
And it has so many different genres of music, although some of these, like, this is the country one. I don't know.
It's really slow.
I don't really know how country this is.
Yeah.
So it's got 6 per genre.
Okay.
That kind of sounds country. Wait, well, here's a reggae. I think it had like a...
Like a samba.
Yeah, it sounds so fake.
It reminds me of like when I was growing up, we had a big organ in the house that had all these fake drum presets on it, and you could like play them and stuff.
It sounds like.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're interested in buying one of these, it's called the AC1 Rhythm Vox. They're new. I think you can get them on Amazon for $60. They also sell them at Guitar Center.
It's a really good deal.
Friend.
Very good.
Yeah,
deal.
$60. I mean.
Audio gear has come down a lot because I used to buy audio gear like it was going out of style, and like little things like that
Would be $200.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Like you would buy like something that could do this sort of equivalent without a speaker. That was just like a little thing that you could plug in headphones. So like if you wanted to practice to yourself,
yeah,
those things would be like $60.
Jeez.
So
I think this thing's priced very well. Like for everything this does, like $60 is actually, I think that's like I would actually spend my own money on this. Whereas some stuff I review, it's like I'm like, this is really cool, but then I look at the price and I'm like, I would never spend this much money on what I'm reviewing.
yeah.
But I try not to comment very much on price because like if you're a freaking millionaire, it's like $200 is nothing, right? It's like you spend $200 all day. So the AC1 Rhythm Box, if you're interested. And that's it for us today.
Cool. Let's play them out.
Yeah. Put it back on blues.
So I've been. That's not the blues. That's like hip hop.
See, no. There we go. D4.
So where can we find you, Erfon?
I can't do this and talk at the same time. I'm at Erfon on Twitter. ERFON.
And I'm at Roberto Hoyos.
Dude, you can't talk and do that at the same time?
Oh, no. And this has been User Friendly, episode 19.
UserFriendlyShow.com.
Thanks for watching. Peace out. I got a